Welcome everybody to another video on Evil Dead the Stream, but this time we're going to be talking about the patch notes that came out yesterday. It's going to be a short video, it's not going to be long, but this patch is going to have a lot of impact only because it took away a lot of things that survivors are pretty much a little well, I wouldn't say a lot, I would say one thing, and that one thing everybody knows. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So we're looking at the June 28, 2022 patch notes gameplay. So like, there's a little bit of a lot of stuff into this, but let's get right into it. Survivors are no longer stuck after being revived from bleed out of state. So now there was always an issue where when you revive someone, it still showed the icon of bleed out of state. And even though they're moving around, and that was also an issue because I don't know if it happens to a lot of people, but whenever you revive someone and they're still in that state, if the other three goes down and the fourth one is still in bleed out of state even though they're alive, it still counts them as being down. I don't know if this is related, but I hope that they fix that too. It was also a really stupid issue that because now they couldn't go down either, and they were like invincible and the demons had to ignore them. But if you had that on Cheryl, that would be very strong, because Cheryl would just be able to heal until she's out of shems. Demon no longer receives infernal energy during possession for shooting bleed out survivors, which is huge because this is one thing that I've seen many demons abuse. Even the skilled demons, they would abuse this method a lot. They down a survivor and they just keep shooting the down survivors, and they get infernal energy back. It was supposed to be part of the game, so yeah, it is what it is. Survivors no longer stay in bleed out of state if healed after completing the page or dagger has been collected. I don't know if I had this issue. I mean, I've had moments where I did have to collect daggers, try to divide and conquer, because demon was on my teammate and we had to pressure the demon, and for whatever reason demon decided to just stay on them instead of coming to me, and I was able to just get a free objective. They ended up downing someone, but then they ended up coming back because I got the objective. Kind of one thing you don't want to do as a demon. Survivors no longer be in a ragdoll state if a possessed survivor shoots at them in bleeding out of state right before they die. Well, I think ragdolls was really an issue because you can still collect their soul. The body is irrelevant at this point. But I guess they wanted to make sure that they don't fly around. I don't know. This is the one that everyone is mad. Most survivors are very mad, and I'm glad I never. I'm super glad that I never relied on this gun at all. If not at all. I did rely on it once, and it was against the Warlord. My teammate ended up getting it, but aside from that match, because that match was very hefty, and we had a fourth random, and they were out of bullets, and yeah, that was game over if we didn't have it. But let's get right into it. Boy, bounce bar damage for the rare blue hunting rifle has been corrected. Now, I know some people who don't know about the blue hunting rifle. The bounce bar had a number of 255 in it. So that means 1 or 2 shots and their balance broke. And this is huge because you could just stun lock any demons easily. And people are going to be like, oh, well, that's just busted. And it is busted. And you can see why people would rely on such a busted thing. And now me, I never, whenever I saw a blue hunting rifle, I never picked it up. I always pick up either a blunderbuss, a purple hunting rifle, with the occasion of common, a legendary, whatever legendary, revolvers seem to be my favorite, and with shotties. Now, if people are still struggling with Warlords, shotguns are going to be your best friend. And with the occasion of some people saying that revolvers also good too on them. But I like shotties more because they are balance bar. They do a lot of balance bar break. So just a little bit of my opinion. But yeah, that's probably the thing that people are gonna hate, because now what this tells us is that a lot of people are gonna struggle against Warlord, and Warlords are just gonna be very hard to deal with. I'm not saying that they're OP. I'm just gonna say they're hard to deal with. Infernal energy is no longer regenerated on dark ones when both demons and survivors were nearby before objectives have been completed. I guess I never. Well, I don't know about that one. Like, I wouldn't know much about that one. Mini Ash's demon trap now takes the corrected number of items from your inventory. Now that one I did see. They ended up taking a lot more from my inventory than I thought. I was like, yo, what? They actually buffed that. If anything, it feels like they buffed it. I don't know. It's very sketchy, that one. We applied a fixed if a weapon is picked up. Oh yeah, by another survivor outside render range, you will not be able to see it on the ground. Yeah, I've seen issues like that. Fixed title crashing right before the result screen in 4v versus AI mode. Okay. Oh, this is the one that I want to talk about. Ed Gedley's active skill now deactivates traps immediately after they are illuminated by a flashlight. And then Ed Gedley's active skill can now disarm a trap in a supply crate if it was not previously placed by a demon. These two things should have already been in his kit. I mean, I'm just saying this. His kit is disabling traps. These two, and people saying this is a buff. This is not a buff. This is a fix. I think this is a fix because these two are supposed to already be in his kit. It just wasn't working as intended. You pop your flashlight active on Ed, and it's supposed to disable everything that you illuminated with that flashlight, and it doesn't do that. It's like a little small delay. You have to look away and then look back at it, and then it disables it for some reason. I don't know why. It was like a little bug with his active, and then they finally fixed it, and people are saying that this is a fucking buff. This is not a buff. This is a fix. I'm just gonna say that this is a fix. This is what he's supposed to do. Alright, one last one for Gandarian Demon. It says, fix an issue where Infernal Energy were not responding if demons had Infernal Revenue skill obtained. Interesting, and then miscellaneous is fixed shortcut icon showing a... well, this is not really... This is really irrelevant. I don't even know why they add that. why they add this. This is irrelevant. But anyways, yeah. That's the patch notes. And I know... people are gonna be like, well, how do we deal with Warlords now? And there's numbers of ways to deal with them, honestly. If you have like an Annie, leader Ash, a random hunter, which, mind you, and I know some people have their own preferences on hunters, but hear me out. Ed Gedley is #1 hunter spot now. I'm just gonna say that he's #1. I have numbers of reason why. I have video footage of explaining why, or showing why, but he's #1. His passive skills are not okay. It's ridiculous how much chests spawn, and the rarity of those chests are blue, 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 purple, purple, blue, 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 purple, 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 legendary, legendary, and with the occasion of some common. And I know some people are gonna be like, well, I play good, and I don't see that. And I'm level 25, and I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have those types of games. I had that type of game yesterday, but I was like, what? I played 3 out of 5 games with Ed, and in those 3, no, I can't remember how many times I played Ed yesterday, but I played a considerable amount of Ed yesterday, and 3 of those matches, all rare chests. Incredible rare chests. Purple, purple, blue, 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 with the occasion of some common. The 4th one I think I played, because I know I remember, it was a 4th Ed I played. There were common in the area that we spawned, nothing but commons. But then when we get to another area, there was just nothing but purples and blues. And with the occasion of 1 legendary. And I was like, yo, it's Ed. It's Ed. People say he doesn't make a difference. He makes a difference. He really does. And he's good because, like, if you want to have a strong early game against Demon, Ed is probably going to be your man to go, because he's going to have so much to offer in for the team with the rarity chest. He does a lot of damage with crossbow. Not only that, but you have a chance to get a legendary from a common, a blue, or purple. And the rarity weapons increases too, so you might get a really good weapon out of whatever chest that comes out. It's just really crazy. I can't explain how much people are sleeping on Ed. Like it's just really good. And then Cheryl probably be the only support I would ever want to see running, because as much as I hate to say it, or as much as people hate to accept it, but I feel like Pablo and the other one could use a little tweak, and they're pretty weak compared to Cheryl. Like, I just don't know what to say. I don't really know what to say. Like, Cheryl can hold more shems, she can heal more, and she can hold more. The other two, they have lower range radius, so they can't. Everybody would have to hug them just for a heal. It's really ridiculous. Like, I don't get why the healing range is different from Cheryl compared to the other two. Like, Cheryl has a larger one compared to the other two, which is why Cheryl is better. But I guess that's where it's at, and I'm hoping that they do not nerf Cheryl just because of that, because it just doesn't fix the solution on supports. Like, people want to play support Ash, people want to play Pablo, but those games become roughly hard because like, let's say Pablo is like 5 meters away, he uses a Shemp and it doesn't count because I wasn't close enough. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, that's not how it's supposed to work. It should be a little bit larger. If not, just increase their range of increase Pablo's range on amulets, and increase and do something with support Ash. I don't know what. Just do something with him. Man, his heavy attacks doesn't seem to heal like great. Like, I'd rather just choose Cheryl if anything. But yeah, that's the patch notes, guys. Tell me what you guys think. In comparison, like, what do you guys think? Do you think that them fixing the blue hunting rifle will cause an issue for survivors? See, that's the thing. I never relied on this. I never did. I relied on shotguns. I relied on certain things that work consistently rather than something that I knew was going to be temporarily. And that's why for the people who are complaining about this, and then now they're complaining about Warlords becoming uncontrollably hard to deal with, I'm just like, well, we have methods now, and I'm pretty sure those methods are going to be really good against them. It's going to become close because it's going to be a clash between, you know, the books, because that's pretty much what Warlords are relying on now. They're going to do book rush, but we have methods to deal with it. Yeah, I'll definitely see you in the next video, and hope you like this video. Peace.